back, everyone. This is Staring from Staring Gaming. Today we're running the dungeon known as the Throne of Tides. Now, this is one of the beginner dungeons that you pretty much got access to in Cataclysm. As you can see, this is the Lord of Waters area, but the Naga have overtaken it. You play through the storyline, you'll see how this plays out, where you end up coming here to save him. Now, when you come to these fights against these ads, there are specific ads you really want to focus on, honestly. Basically, you want to focus on the casters. The healers are priority, of course. But then you really want to focus on the Spellweaver types. And as you can see, there's a Leviathan, or a Kraken, I guess, technically. It's tentacles you can't get through. You'll have to take out the first boss to officially get to these next areas. And as you can see, there's a question here. This is where you could actually use an archaeology item to give your party a small buff while you're in here. Now as for the Sentinel, you just gotta watch your ground because he'll spawn pools of poison. You just gotta keep out of them. And now everyone's favorite part of the dungeon here, the jellyfish ride. And we're gonna actually try this new toy I have, this Anima Cell. We're gonna see what I get. We'll go Inner Child. As you can see, here's our jellyfish. And I just basically implanted a totem right into the top of the jellyfish. More like impaled instead of implanted. This is pretty much the funnest part of this dungeon. It's the jellyfish ride. Now this is like a mini gauntlet coming up. You just gotta kill the 3 groups here of mobs and get to her, and it ends. While happening, there'll be constant waves of these little murlocs coming at you.
Armies of the depths, wash over our enemies as the tide of death. Meddlesome gnats, you think us defeated so easily?
Well, yeah, I just took you guys off bad. And I'm in the mood to try this out.
By all means, don't assess the situation, you half-wit. Just jump into the fray.
Ah, a boss from Udgard Keep. Alright. Now, groups like this, normally we would CC one. If we could actually CC both, we would. Then we take out the Tempest Witch and then the Evaders. But I don't need to because I got Chain Lightning.
You may serve me yet.
Now with this, you gotta be careful because one of those Sentinels was actually Patty. So while you're fighting a group, he could just come in through his pat and you end up having to fight that too. So it's better to burn down the first group, and depending where he is, you might either wait or just go ahead and take out the second group. We're gonna see, where is he? There he is. Raw shot for the win. Now here's our first boss, Lady Najar. Now she has summoned geysers, which during the fight there'll be little whirlpools of water coming towards people randomly. Just move out of the way. Fungal spores is a disease effect. They explode on impact, inflicting any player nearby, and they'll take damage. Now, Shock Blast is something you do want to interrupt because it is deadly, and I will back then it was. And Water Spout is a phase, as you see, 60 and 30% she'll go into, where the only way to get her out of her vortex is to destroy all the mobs around. But you also got to be careful because there will be water vortexes still spewing out from her water vortex that she casts on herself. But I believe we should be able to one-shot her.
You have interfered
There we go.
with our plans.
As you see, she casts water spells.
From the great dark beyond.
And as you can see, this is what happens if it catches you in her vortex. You get pretty much thrown out to the perimeter of the fight. Now, you should be able to kill these mobs. Oh, I put her through 2 phases of it. Nice. Now, you should be able to kill the mobs before she finishes her cast. And as you can see, you want to avoid that because that will launch you up in the air. Fortunately, I missed. It missed me.
Ulfok, stop them!
Now, in order to progress, you actually have to put the defense system in effect, which will free up the next round of the last 2 bosses. Now, as you can see, now the whole area has been freed up because the Kraken's been electrified. Now, Commander Uthok here, it's actually a skippable boss if you don't want to fight them. You just basically run around the perimeter here and go to the transporter on the other side. But this is a video where we're showing off the thing. So, here's his ability, Squeeze. He'll basically grab a random player. For 6 seconds, he's going to deal damage to you, and you can't really do nothing about it. Dark Fisher, especially because we're in Heroic, can be deadly. Basically, the tanks want to basically tank him here at the perimeter and work their way around. And do not stand in front of him when he casts it, because it can kill your tank. Now, I'll leave behind a dark puddle that actually grows over time on Heroic. Now, Curse of Fatigue is basically like a Warlock spell. Basically, it slows you down and slows down your cast, range, and melee speeds. And Enrage is basically he gets ticked off and gets a damage bonus for 10 seconds. Now, if you have a way to dispel Enrage, use it. It helps out a lot in this fight. Now you see the transporter takes you right to the beginning, or like others, they just go for the jellyfish because nowadays no one knows about that transporter. They just go right for the jellyfish ride. Now if you want to finish up this dungeon pretty fast, you can actually skip Mindbender. You go left and it'll take you to the final boss, but we're going to do the full dungeon. Now as these guys, if you get swarmed by these guys, you need an awesome healer and tank. You want to burn these down, these Gil-goblins, ASAP. You don't just burn them down as fast as possible. Now the Faceless Watchers, honestly, they're secondary. You gotta kill these Gil-goblins first, but into the fight, they'll start throwing your whole group up in the air. You can't do nothing, really. But other than that, just be sure you're not in front of him when he starts smashing. Now, this group would test the tank and healer. Because this group would kill a lot of groups. Now here we are. Mindbender Gushra. As you can see, Ironuk's Stone Speaker is actually being mind controlled. Basically, he has shaman abilities. Amber Strike, he can hit the current target with fire damage. Magma Splash, basically a stream of magma 90 degrees wide in a cone. Lava Bolt is just basically like my Lava Burst. And Earth Shards, you'll see them coming. All you gotta do is move out of the way and you won't get hit. Now, your true enemy is that little mindless one right there on top of him. He can do Absorb Magic. Basically, if he has that on, do not cast magic spells. Because he'll heal for 3 times the amount he absorbs, and you don't want that. Now, he can create a fog at his central location. You'll take damage if you stand in it, but you also can't attack. You're pretty much silenced. Unrelenting Agony, he channels basically damage to everyone. And Enslave, especially on Heroic, you want to get that player, pretty much DPS whoever got MC'd at the time. You're not going to kill him, but you need to get him off, especially on Heroic, because if you don't get him off in 30 seconds, well, they're dead.
A new host may are outside the cycle.
I thank you, my friends. Forgive me. I have grown too weak to be of any assistance.
I'll be right back in 1 minute, folks. I'm back, and I do want to apologize for that, guys. But when nature's calls and you can't hold it, you got no choice, honestly. I do apologize for the extra minute or 2 in this video. Now, as you can see, this is to the final boss. These little guys, you just gotta be careful not to kill too many in your proximity, because you get a nasty little debuff on you if you're not careful. As well for these sentries, when they start trying to cast Swell, you need to interrupt that, because it's a nasty damage if they get that cast off. We're gonna let them cast it, so you can see what it's like. If they ever decide. There we go, Swell. See? You want to dispel that as fast as possible, because they're going to start casting the AoE on you. And as you see, they break up into smaller little elements.
Ah, my fearless assistants, I assume.
Now, to start this fight, you talk to Natuan
You
here.
may yet regret your presence here.
Your boss is Ozamat. But as you see, stage 1 here is you're killing everything that spawns in. Protecting the big guy here. Not letting him get killed, more or less. It lasts for 60 seconds. So, the stage 2 begins is when the Kraken that you took out earlier with the defense system comes back for another round. But then, to get past that fight, you have to kill a few of these faceless sappers in order to progress to stage 3, while watching out for blighted beasts. And all that time while Ozamat is spewing out, I guess you could call it his ink, just don't stand in it and you'll be fine. Once you hit stage 3, you focus on the Kraken. You beat that sucker down because you get pretty much a massive buff and you just focus fire. Once you get him down to 10% health, he retreats and you win. So we're going to get this fight started. Here we go.
As I purify these waters, the servants of filth will surely be stirred. Beware.
You may serve me yet.
Yeah, you know that you're OP when Thunderstorm one-shots yourself. And also, you're able to heal him if he starts losing HP. So remind that. Now, we're gonna actually
Patience, guests. The waters are nearly cleansed.
we're actually gonna try to keep this behemoth alive because I believe there's actually an achievement associated with this guy. And lucky for me, I have single target attacks.
The beast has returned. It must not pollute my waters.
Here's phase 2. You gotta take out these sappers while you're at it.
Ah, their filthiness stains me. My waters are cleansed.
Now on to phase
Drink
3.
in their power. Behold the power of pure water.
See, once you get that buff and you take out that big guy, that's the achievement. And as you can see, simple lava burst made that guy flee. Now you just gotta wait a few seconds and you'll be able to loot this cachet here. And well, that's pretty much been the Throne of Tides, guys. This has been Asterion from Asterion Gaming, asking you to please like and subscribe. And also check out my Twitch channel. I stream Wednesday through Sunday. So, see you guys next time.